Arya thought she had done everything right. She got a master's degree in business, landed a good job, and even used a budgeting app. But last month, while trying to do her taxes, she froze. "I have no idea how this stuff actually works," she said, staring at her laptop. The truth hit her. Even with all her education, no one ever taught her how to handle real-life money. Not taxes, not inflation, not even how credit scores work or how to protect herself from risk. And Arya isn't alone. In school, most of us never learned how money really works. We were told to save or budget, but that's just a tiny piece of the puzzle. Today, money is more complicated, and the rules have changed. In this video, we're going to look at 5 big mistakes people make with financial education. These are real, hidden problems that could quietly cost you thousands of dollars or more. And once you see them, you'll never think about money the same way again. Let's get into it, because your financial future deserves more than a spreadsheet. Number 1. Not learning about money risks until you're in one. Maria was doing well as a freelance writer. She had steady clients, a few $1,000s saved, and life felt comfortable. Then one day, her biggest client stopped replying. No warning, no payment, just silence. Suddenly, Maria had no income and no plan. That's when she realized something important. She never thought about money risks. Most people don't. We're told to save and invest, but no one talks about what to do when things go wrong, like losing your job, getting sick, or being hit with a surprise bill. A report showed that almost half of Gen Z workers in the US are freelancers or gig workers. That means millions of people depend on income that isn't always stable. But most of them don't have backup plans. They don't have insurance. They don't have contracts. They don't know what to do if a client disappears, like Maria's did. Here are some money risks people often ignore. Income risk. What if your only source of income stops? Health risk. A single hospital visit can cost thousands without insurance. Job risk. Even full-time jobs aren't as stable as they used to be. Debt risk. Too much debt can trap you, especially with rising interest rates. Lack of insurance. Many people skip life or disability insurance, thinking they won't need it. Most schools and online courses don't teach this stuff, but it's one of the most important parts of financial education. So how can you prepare? Build an emergency fund with 3 to 6 months of expenses. Diversify your income if possible. Even a small side hustle helps. Understand what insurance you actually need: health, renters, disability, etc. Ask yourself, what's the worst case scenario? And make a plan for it. Maria eventually found new clients, but now she saves more, has backup income, and finally feels secure. Don't wait for a money emergency to learn about money safety. The best time to prepare is before the storm. Number 2. Confusing financial education with financial information. David watches finance videos every day. He follows top YouTubers, scrolls through Reddit threads, and listens to money podcasts while driving. He knows all the terms: index funds, compound interest, dividends. But his savings account? Almost empty. His credit card? Maxed out. So, what's the problem? David is full of financial information, but he hasn't turned it into financial education. There's a big difference. Information is what you read, hear, or watch. Education is what you understand and use in real life. In today's world, it's easy to feel like you're learning just because you're consuming content. But if you're not taking action, you're just collecting facts, not building skills. A recent study from the University of Chicago found something surprising. 68% of Gen Z say they understand investing, but only 14% actually invest. Why? Because knowing something isn't the same as doing it. The truth is, too much information can be overwhelming. You might keep watching and learning, but feel stuck, not sure where to start. Here's how to fix that. Use just-in-time learning. Only learn what you're about to apply. For example, don't study mortgage tips if you're not buying a house soon. After learning something, take one small action right away. Open a savings account. Invest $50. Track your spending for a week. Limit your sources. Pick 1 to 2 trusted voices and focus on real steps, not endless advice. David finally stopped binge watching and made a plan. He chose one goal, paying off debt, and focused on just that. Within months, his money started to improve. Remember, scrolling isn't learning. True financial education begins when you do something with what you know. Number 3, not connecting money to your identity and values. Omar was 32, single, and doing well in his career as an architect. He had saved over $80,000. On paper, everything looked perfect, but something felt off. He wasn't happy. His money goals didn't excite him anymore. He realized he was saving and spending based on what others expected, not what he really cared about. Here's the mistake. Too many people follow money advice that doesn't match their life. We copy what friends, influencers, or even parents do. We chase things that look successful, a fancy car, a big house, early retirement, without asking why. But real financial freedom isn't just about numbers. It's about using money to live in a way that matches your values and identity. Ask yourself, do you want to travel often? Do you dream of starting a business? Do you want to support your family or give to causes you care about? Your money should support those goals. Tools like Tiller let you plan your money around what actually matters to you. It's called values-based budgeting, and it can change everything. Omar finally shifted his focus. He spent less on status and more on experiences he loved, and started designing a life that felt like his. Because at the end of the day, money isn't just for saving. It's for living on your own terms. Number 4, learning personal finance as a math problem, not a behavior problem. Jerome is great with numbers. He works as a data analyst and has a color-coded budget on Excel. He tracks every dollar he spends, but somehow he still lives paycheck to paycheck. What's going wrong? Jerome's problem isn't math, it's behavior. Most of us were taught that personal finance is about numbers. Income, expenses, savings, interest rates. That's only half the story. The other half, how we feel, think, and act with money. Behavior is the real challenge. Have you ever made a purchase just because you were stressed or sad? Have you ever promised to save money, but ended up spending it the next day? That's not bad math, that's human nature. A study from Princeton University found that even people with high financial knowledge still made emotional money mistakes when under pressure. Why? Because emotions often win over logic. This is why budgeting alone doesn't always work. You might create a perfect plan, but if you feel bored, anxious, or tempted, your behavior can break that plan in seconds. The best financial education teaches you how to manage your mind, not just your money. So what can you do? Learn about behavioral finance. It explains why we make the money choices we do. Set up money rules in advance, like, I always wait 24 hours before buying anything over $50. Recognize your money triggers. Stress, boredom, or social pressure can all cause overspending. Jerome finally started doing something different. Instead of tracking every cent, he focused on building habits like automatic saving and reducing temptation. And for the first time, he started to feel in control. Because personal finance isn't just about numbers, it's about you. Number 5, ignoring money systems and relying on willpower. Nina was tired of overspending. Every month, she promised herself she'd save more and stop buying random things online. But then came a Zara sale, and her plan flew out the window. What happened? She was depending on willpower, and that rarely works long-term. Here's the truth. Willpower is weak when it's alone. It gets tired, especially after a long day or when you're stressed. That's why so many people break their budget even when they really want to stick to it. The real solution? You need a money system, a plan that runs automatically so you don't have to rely on memory or self-control. For example, automatically move a part of your paycheck into savings the moment you get paid. Have separate bank accounts, one for bills, one for spending, and one for saving. Set spending limits on your card or use cash envelopes for certain categories. A recent study from MIT showed that people who used automatic saving systems were 72% more successful at reaching their money goals than those who didn't. Today, so many apps make setting up these systems easy, even fun. Nina finally set up automatic transfers and split her accounts. A few months later, she wasn't worried about every little expense because her savings were already taken care of. The bottom line? Don't try to fight temptation with willpower. Build a system that does the hard work for you. Most people think learning about money is like taking a class. You study some facts, pass a test, and move on. But real financial education isn't like that. It's not a one-time lesson. It's something you build piece by piece, based on your life, your habits, and your goals. You don't need to be perfect or have all the answers. What matters is that you start thinking differently. You question what you've been told. You take small actions that move you forward. You begin to build a money life that actually fits who you are. Financial education isn't about passing. It's about evolving. So maybe you didn't learn this in school. That's okay. The best learning starts right here, with you, and it never ends. Because this isn't just a class. It's a rebuild, and you're already in it. Now, if you want to learn how to achieve financial success, then watch this video next. If you made it to this point in the video, please like and subscribe to the channel to see more content like this. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next video.